boy, do I have great news for you. There are several things going on right now, but first off, I have just created a new vocal preset for Cakewalk, but there's a catch to it. It's only going to be for Waves plugins, and it's already a rendition of what I call In Your Face. So if you have downloaded or bought In Your Face, thank you for that. I love you. First things first, I created this vocal track that's just a vocal. Now down here I started playing around with some drum loop that I got from Splice, but I created this vocal 4-bar phrase that's really not anything really exciting, but let me let you hear what that sounds like alone. This is with no effects on. Now you will notice that on the track to the left I have my Just a Vox In Your Face, which is created just for Cakewalk using only Cakewalk plugins. But then also you're going to see a bunch of plugins here that are all Waves. And then down here, you're going to see a studio rack. I have 2 studio racks down here. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly what's going on with that. So here's the track, and here's what it sounds like.
I gotta get this thing right off of my chest. Don't you know that you won't mess with me?
Okay, so that's what it sounds like, and I mean, it's cool. You know, it sounds good. For the most part, I think it does. There are some reflections in there that I hear. Reflection is when you hear certain frequencies that come from the natural sound of the room that you're in. So every time that you say something, no matter what space you're in, you always get some type of reverberation. Reverberation is basically how things bounce. So kind of think of it like echo, but it also has to do with the dimensions of the space. So the height, the width, the depth, etc. I'm in an apartment. This is a pretty big open space. I don't have a rug, so that really affects the sound. Now you can't really hear it as much, but I can really hear it in headphones, not in these as much. I really hear it in these Audio Technicas. These are more kind of open back. They are closed, but they're kind of close to open back, so I can hear a lot more of the room when I'm listening through these, and these have a lot more highs in them. So the vocal part is fine. It's recorded on this vocal mic right here. Nothing fancy. This is a Behringer mic. And I know you may hate Behringer, but that's okay because I use it. But I also have some other mics too as well. But I use this mic and I've been loving it so far. So anyway, I use that mic on this. And this is what I came up with. So first of all, let's hear the Just a Vox In Your Face. All right. So this is the Just a Vox. I'm just going to turn it on. You'll be able to hear it.
I gotta get this thing right off of my chest. Don't you know that you won't mess with me?
Okay. All right. So definitely a lot more brighter, more present. Of course, it's louder. That is the In Your Face. It's kind of got a grit to it. So it's really good for rap, which is really what I created it for, because it was based off of a track someone sent me and I was able to mix their song. So anyway, I was working with this vocal and playing around with it for the last 2 days, trying to figure out ways to get it to sound good with Waves plugins. I'm going to go into telling you what's in there. I won't really go into all the settings for the second time. And plus, I want you to get the actual plugin. It may help. It may help. This is always a starting point, so don't feel like, oh, as soon as I put this plug in, everything's going to sound wonderful. It may sound better than what you started off with. You might have to change a few things. So this is what we have. Let me turn this on real quick. And then, so it's called In Your Face again. This will be the Wave edition. Let me reload this because I think I just did some updates. I was working on another song and just trying to test it out. So on here, if you're not familiar with Waves, well, it's a plugin company that's been around for eons. I remember using Waves back in the 90s. I think I was using Waves. And they've been out for a long time. But anyway, a lot of controversy happened with it. I'm not going into all of that. This is based off of the subscription. I have the cheapest one. So some of the plugins that I received, they don't work. They're not the full version. So I try to use everything that comes with the basic subscription. But for most of these plugins, most people may have them already because they're staple Waves plugins. This Wave Studio Rack is normally free, if I'm correct. So you can just download this, and it's attached to what's called a Studio Verse. The Studio Verse allows you to connect to a bunch of different presets and vocal templates that you can find that some of the big names have done. So this is really helpful, and I can also save mine and put it in there. So I'm actually going to do that too as well. But anyway, you load it in your face, and this is the rack. I have the H EQ on here. There's a bunch of EQs I could have used. I just went to this one because, and you're probably going to laugh at me, I like the colors of it. I was like, I really like these colors. So I just chose to use this one. It worked really good. Of course, the classic Renaissance Art Vox. All right, so this one is cool. The MV2, CLA 76. Then I have the Magnum channel strip. Okay, and then have a plugin called Sibilance, and then I have a parallel split here, which is giving me my dry signal on one side. It's giving me the true verb, which I'm kind of getting used to. I really don't like this reverb. Some of you all might be like, dude, no, that's the reverb. That one is amazing. I don't really care for it. I think I've gotten really used to Cakewalk sounds and Cakewalk's VSTs and plugins, you all, but I'm still using this one, and I got it to work good, but, But anyway, and then I have the Ace Delay. Now, I do love this plugin, of course, but that true reverb, I can pick another reverb, but I just chose to do this one. All right, so now that I am here, let me let you hear what it sounds like. So this is before. Actually, let's just leave it open. Then I can turn host bypass. I think I do it that way. So this is without. And let's just loop this part right here.
I gotta get this.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got to turn. Let me turn the Justin box in your face over here off. I'm sorry. You're like, man, that still sounds good. So this is what it sounds like before.
I gotta get this thing right off of my chest.
Okay.
Don't you know that you won't mess with me? I gotta get this thing right off of my chest. Don't you know that you won't mess with me? I gotta.
Okay. All right. So, and of course, you can see the reverb and the delay are really hot. The good thing about the way this rack is set up is that you can actually just, I can solo out any of these. I can turn any of these off. I can bring the reverb all the way down.
Get this thing right off of my chest.
Okay. So now all you hear is the delay. Now, this is pretty bright. At least I can tell in here. And the reason why I made it so bright is because these headphones tend to lend to a whole lot of bottom. And these tend to lend to a whole lot of mids and highs. So in these, they sound great. But in these ears, they sound a little bright. You let me know. How does it sound on your end? If for some reason you feel like, man, it's too bright, well, of course, you can come back here. And I actually had this earlier. I had a low pass filter, low passes through. Think of it like that. Low passes through. So you cut some of the highs. And if I put that on, it'll kind of dip it. Now you can change what type of style you want. This is one reason why I kind of like this EQ. I really like the way it's set up. There's a bunch of features I don't even really want to go into talking about the plugins. But if you're not familiar with a lot of Wave plugins, don't feel bad because I'm not either. There's probably, I don't know how many plugins they have now. It's probably thousands of plugins out that I have never tried. I do remember some of the old classic ones that have been out, but I'm getting back into it. So anyway, if I felt like a frequency was not what I wanted to be, or I felt like it was too crispy or something like that, then I can go adjust that. The RVox CLA Um, the sibilants. Okay. The sibilance is definitely used to control another. The sibilance is just like it sounds. It's used to control all the S's and T's that come from your mouth when you're singing. I like it has a look ahead on here, and I love that it has a monitor on here so I can kind of hear what that is. And I like how it shows you the waves and it kind of shows you how it's working. So that I could change the threshold. I can turn -80, or if I can leave it back. This is, if you put it back at 0, you notice it's not catching it at all.
Mess with me. I gotta get this thing right off of my chest. Don't you know that?
Yeah, and so it's still a lot of. So I might even go through and adjust it a little bit more. I'm still tweaking the preset, so, but I just want to give you a heads up of what it sounds like. Now, this, I'm probably going to post it probably tomorrow or Monday. I'll put it on sale, and I'm probably going to do it for, it'll probably be $6 starting off. And you're probably telling me, man, dude, like, why you keep selling this stuff? It's so cheap. Oh, trust me, I'm going to take the prices up eventually, but I want you all to be able to just get in this program and work. And I don't want you to feel like you hindered down by having to buy extra plugins and stuff like that. If you're a person that already has Waves and you're like, I have Waves and I use other DAWs, but I'm getting into Cakewalk, or you have Cakewalk and that's the only DAW you use, but you do use Waves, then this will work for you. As I start to invest in more plugins outside of Waves and outside of Cakewalk, I will start doing more presets for each DAW, or each, actually DAWs will come next. So I'm going to start working in DAWs and try to see if I can get the same sound. Is this going to sound exactly like the one over here? No, the one in Cakewalk, it's just something about certain plugins, like this grit plugin and this saturation plugin. Now, mind you, of course, I put a lot more plugins on this particular one. To the left, I mean, I've got the Pro Channel EQ, I've got the tube. I could put a tube on here. I've got a PC2A. I'm using a 2A over here, but over here I'm using a 76. So I could put a 2A on this side, but I just didn't do that. Let me see. Make sure I'm still recording, because it's like I didn't see my vocal thing going on. There it is. Okay, so make sure I'm still recording OBS. My bad. There's a grit and there's a saturation plugin, and then I have the VX64 down here, which I did like a high shelf boost. High shelf means I'm doing a shelf at the high and I'm just boosting it, for those that don't know, and then I'm doing a low shelf cut. All right, and then I have a de-esser on here and a compand, which is basically a mixture of compression and expand. On that studio rack. Now, the way the studio rack, it works mono, and you also can do the stereo one too as well. So I have a stereo one down here. Let me see how it'll sound in there. Got to reload it. Even though the plugin is up there, I mean, even though the preset is up there, I've kind of changed it. So let me see what it'll sound like in the stereo. Even though this isn't a stereo track, but humor me anyway. How are you all doing today? By the way, I'm sorry, this has been such a long tutorial so far, but my name is Justin Norm. If you love tutorials like this, definitely consider, you know what to do. Just subscribe. Stop playing. And ask me questions down in the comments. I promise I'm only one person for this channel. I don't have a 5, 2, 10, 20 member team, but I am working on trying to build this thing even more so that way I can get to your comments more. I can get more videos out to you quicker. There's a many things that I'm trying to get done, but I'm the only one working on this. So please bear with me. But if you like these type of, in your face type of tutorials, that's right, in your face. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry. Definitely subscribe. All right, let's see what this sounds like. If this works. What I noticed is that the H delay wouldn't work stereo, but it's like weird over here. I could do it, but on the other song I'm going to show you in a moment, I couldn't do it. So let's see.
I gotta get this thing right off of my chest. Don't you know that you won't mess with me?
Whew, boy, that sounds fat. I don't know how it sounds over there where you all are. Oops, I moved this over there. That wasn't right. I don't know how it sounds where you all are, but it sounds fat in these headphones. If I can get it to sound fat in these headphones, I know it sounds fat in the headphones. It might be too loud, but of course I can always bring things down. What I have set up on this plug-in or this rack is there's an input and there's an output. You can adjust the input or output. Of course, you can adjust it up here too as well. This is the in, and then you can change the phase of it if you need be, or you can change the phase of any of these, which I really love. I really like the way this thing is made. Now, on the stereo one, I can do cool things like this. I can turn I think I can, there we go. I can turn the reverb to one side. Let's listen.
Gotta get this thing right off of my chest.
And then I can solo that. Okay, let's listen again. So that's a delay, and it's only on the right side. You should hear it on the right side.
Won't mess.
I can solo both of these. You can only solo one at a time. Okay, I thought you could solo more than one. That would be great.
This thing right off of my chest. Don't you know that you won't mess with me?
Okay, and it might even be on the verge of distorted, but if you remember, those that don't remember, but the in your face is somewhat a little distorted. It's got that grit on it, which is why I call it in your face. I'm sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. But anyway, you all, I'm fascinated, and I have another one that I'm getting ready to start creating called Soft and Sweet. Soft and Sweet. Or maybe Soft and Gentle. No, Soft and Sweet. So Soft and Sweet is going to work like this. It's going to be less compression. It's going to be more of a warmer sound. And it's probably going to be really, really wet. So on the Cakewalk version of In Your Face, I didn't add a reverb or delay at the end of the chain. I might go back and do that, but you can always add extra effects. And if you're not sure how, all you got to do is just click down to the left. If you see me looking to the left, that's because my screen's right here, but I'm looking at the corner. So you can always just right click right down on the left side, and then go insert audio effects. And then you can add in some reverb. Now, what I did originally, let me exit out of this. I think I don't need to save it. Please, I don't think I need to. Okay, I think I'm good. All right, let me open up another project real quick. So there is a song that I wrote back in August. And it's funny, I actually started writing the lyrics to it. I think I did. Yeah, I started working on lyrics when I was at the school, or my job, rather. And it's not finished yet, but I'm working on an album. And I probably said this a million times on my channel. But I have more clear vision. There are 4 albums that I'm going to release. And then what I did is I wrote out all the songs. I said, oh, these are all the songs. And some songs are already finished, recorded. They're already out. I'm just going to add them to the album, But I've just been trying to figure out which album I want to put out first. So it's going to be the one with the least amount of work. And as you can see, Cakewalk just closed on me. But that is fine because I've been messing with it for like the last hour and a half, so it's probably tired of me. I normally don't have my software closed like that, but when you start getting into having a whole lot of plugins, then yeah, you might get that issue. Okay, so we waited for this to come up, and now it's up. And you can see here, give you another example of a vocal, and this is a vocal that's within a song, and you can hear what that sounds like. And you might have heard this song before already, I'm not sure.
I never met a girl that makes me feel this way.
Okay, so as you can tell, that does not have what I'm looking for, because you can hardly hear the vocal by itself. Like I said, vocal's fine, just not cutting through like I really wanted to. And so what did I do? I put the studio rack on there, and I applied my In Your Face, and this is what it sounds like. Okay, I'll start it from the beginning.
I never met a girl that makes me feel this way, but when I looked at her,
Okay. All right. And then you can also see that here there was some when I originally recorded this vocal, I had some comps that I did. Where are the comps? I don't even see them down here no more. Oh, there the comps are. Okay. So there's some comps. I don't even want to get into talk about vocal comping, but you're not familiar with vocal comping. It's basically just the art of recording something multiple times and then being able to crop together or splice together, or slice together, whatever way you want to do it, what version is perfect. So I can take literally down to syllable by syllable, word by word, sentence, phrase by phrase, etc., to form a new melody, or not new melody, but just form a new finished product. I'll put it like that. So when I took some of this stuff and put it together, I don't know, I think I was doing it just for an example, but I'm going to go back and record this because I really, really, really like this piano. And now this is, no samples on this thing. This is all me. That piano part came to me. I always write a lot of stuff in piano, so we're going to get into talking about more stuff dealing with songwriting on this channel. I just kind of gotten away from it. I really like to offer a lot of value and a lot of variety on this channel. And if you came to this channel, you might end up coming across something dealing with a washer and dryer. I'm going to stop doing stuff like that. But every now and then I might show videos to show who I am. I want you to know who I am, not just what I do, because I feel like you get to know me more than we form a connection. And I want to know you all even more, which is why from now on, if I can, when I go live, I'm going to set a schedule. I am going to set a schedule. I know I am. I don't know when the schedule is going to happen, but I'm going to set a schedule. But when I set the schedule, I want to have you all on there with me, not just live chatting with me, but I want to have some guests come on so we can talk about the issues that you're having with production, or we can talk about the successes that you're having with production and Cakewalk, and you can be a light and encouragement to some others. So let me know in the comments if you would be interested in doing that. I sent out a survey that I wanted some people to fill out, so you can just kind of help me grow this channel in the right direction, like things that you want to see on this channel. I feel like my brain can be somewhere everywhere. There's a lot of things I want to get to doing, but I never get a chance to doing it. So once again, go ahead and give this a like, press that little button, subscribe. You know how to do it. And don't just subscribe, just, say, hey, I subscribe to the channel. Subscribe and become part of the community. Share questions, share strands, share things that you figured out. Like, hey, guys, I just figured out how to do this. I love that type of stuff. I do not know everything. I know this much. This much. That's how much I know. And it's just a plethora of information that are out in the world. And I feel like if all of us come together, we definitely can pull this thing together and create some records. I want a goal for each of you who's up to the challenge before the end of 2024. I want you all to put out at least one song if you have not done already. I want you to release one song. I don't care how the song, sounds to you. I don't care how the song is mixed. I only hope that you like the song and that you wrote the song yourself. I hope that, you're not just taking somebody else's music and putting it out. But I want you to get out and do it. I'm telling you, it's not going to be the best you want it to be now. You have to get it out. You have to start just trusting the process. Things get better as you get older, as you get more mature in music. I started recording music when I was, I started writing songs when I was probably 5 years old. All right. I wrote a whole lot of songs that I used to have the 5 1/4 floppy disk. All right. I had 2 IBM. For the IBM computer, I had one on this side, one on that side. And I would save song after song after song, writing a lot of lyrics. Then I started writing music for songs. I started recording the songs. I started off on a 4-track recorder. Then I went to an 8-track recorder. And then we finally got a for real computer. Hewlett Packard Bell, as they call it. And when we got that computer, then I was able to do, I think we did Cakewalk. No, we didn't even have Cakewalk at first. It was some other type of software. I can't even remember. But Cool Edit Pro, I had that. Had Cakewalk, the DOS version. Look, and I was a little kid trying to figure this stuff out. And like I said, 18 years old, I built my own computer. Finally recorded some songs like all by myself without the help of my dad. And then I finally released the music. Not then, 2018. 2018 was when I really started thinking about releasing stuff. 2020 was when it finally happened. April 2020, during COVID period. So I am now 39 years old. I'll be 40 in July. I wrote that music. I recorded that music. 3 songs. I released 4 songs. 3 songs that I recorded when I was 18 years old. And I didn't release them until 3 years ago, or 4 years ago now. So that lets you know that just do it. There's no excuse. Just get it out. Somebody's going to be touched by it, and somebody's going to like it. Somebody's going to vibe to it. A lot of people might not like it. A lot of people are going to like it. You never know. And it might not be the people that you have in your network. It might be the people that's in another country or somewhere that really digs your music. You might be someone's number one artist. Does it mean you're going to get really big? I don't know. You might get big, but I'm not here to get big. I'm here to be able to share a message of positivity. Of course, I write a lot of gospel music. Okay. But I write a lot of R&B, rock, country, some of everything. But I wanted to be a positive message though. But I'm going to have fun with my music, and I'm just appreciative of God for allowing me to have this gift. So now, by this point in time, if you are a real soldier and you're really stuck with me, you still here on this video and you're heeding my words and you're listening to what I have to say, I thank you for that. All right. I love you all. I'm feeling good. Tomorrow's church. So, all right, might be church now. I don't know when I'm going to release this video, but anyway, I love you all. All right. Take care.